Have you seen that replay, buddy?
All right, man, I'm done talking to you.
You can't be done talking to me. You're right here facing me.
I back. Trust me, I back.
Damon! 60 G's, baby! But I'm not impressed by your performance.
It's normal. Come on, guys. It's normal.
You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing.
I'm the man of the hour, Joe. Too sweet to be sour. What you see is what you get, and what you don't is better yet. I'm the women's pick. I'm the men's regret. And if you win against Chael Sonnen, you made a bad bet.
I don't have much left to say other than you have seen nothing yet.
Yo, what's happening, Fight Week Show fans, Fight Week Show people? Then we are back with another episode of Don't Stop Shakedown. And this week, I got my bros in the house. We got Cross, we got Sterling, we got Olin, we got Keith. How's everybody doing, man? Let's go with Olin first, man. The man of the hour. How you doing, my bro?
Man, I'm the man of the hour. I'm too sweet to be sour. Dude, I'm happy to be here. I'm always happy to get the invite and always happy to see the boys on screen. Thanks for having me. Can't wait to jump into things. And with that being said, I'll go to the guy that's sitting right above me. Cross, how we doing, brother?
Man, it's always good. I'm always looking forward to come on here, jumping on with you guys, chopping it up, getting to it, and talking some MMA.
It's Sterling.
Not only is America taking over hockey, but we're taking over the Fight Week Show, brother. We're glad to be here, big dog. You know what it is, dog. If it's a Wednesday or a Thursday and we're talking MMA, I'm in a great mood. What's going down, Yao?
We're here for it, man. We're here for it. Come on,
I
Yao.
am doing amazing. I just need to explain the robe. The robe is because it is comfortable at the top of the table for the prediction challenge. That's why I'm wearing the robe tonight. But shout out, boys. Good to be with you, as always, talking MMA.
You know what they say about them winners that be sleeping in their silk pajamas, bro. You know what I mean? You know what they say about that, don't you? Hey, shout out to everybody that's live with us right now. Big up to every single one of you. If you're watching live, if you're watching on playback, please make sure you're showing love to the platform. Make sure you're showing love to every single thing that you see down there, scrolling down, Head Kick Pod, the rambling that it couldn't be here tonight, MMA. Normally, we got Making the Walk, the boy Jax, Mr. Basement. Yeah, we got Crossover MMA, we got Sterling, you know what I mean? Ace Dogs. Make sure you're showing everybody in the house. And last but not the least, take a minute. Make sure you go over there and make sure you're subbing to the Head Kick Pod. Right, Leroy is left us some topics to talk about this week. And we're just going to go in the order, put them in. I've not seen them, so I'm going to be seeing them first time that you guys are seeing them. And then, yeah, we're going to react and get your takes on some of these videos that Leroy has put together for us. Yeah, let's hit the first one. And Sterling, if you don't mind, if you can run the chat, I'd appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir.
Salute. Let's go.
The back and forth between Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev continues. Following Dricus' recent victory over Sean Strickland, defending his middleweight title, Khamzat now appears to be the frontrunner for the next shot at the belt. Last night, Khamzat posted a photo of himself on X with the caption, "Good morning, Dricus du Plessis." Dricus fired back earlier today with the Brother Ooh gif.
Brother Ooh. What's that? What's that, brother?
Yo, what's that, brother? Talk to us, yo.
Look, when I saw this, as I just put in the chat, for me, Dricus hands down is the king of trolling, the king of smack talk, simply because it's just got that edge of unseriousness, but stings just enough for you to feel it. Every single time he's made Sean Strickland cry, he's made Izzy cry, he's going to make Khamzat cry. Yes, Cross, you heard me. He's going to make Khamzat cry. So, look, I'm all for it. Dricus is always ready for any challenge, no matter what it is. And Khamzat does not know what he's in for. I love Khamzat. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy Khamzat, but this is Dricus we're talking about. And already he's showing who's dominant where it comes to the internet, where it comes to MMA Twitter, where it comes to the social. So let's get it. Let's go.
Hey, before I come to Cross to rebut that madness that Yao's just dropped, I know Olin is a big DDP fan as well, and you're not wrong in terms of how he's made people cry. But what do you make of his IQ in the art of trash talking and build up to fights?
Aussie. think that's you, Cross.
It's you, Cross.
Oh, I thought it was the Olin.
No,
I thought it was
that was
Olin.
Olin.
I thought you passed it to Cross. You had me in the first half. I
know you're a big fan of DDP, so that's.
I mean, I'm definitely a big fan of DDP. And look, man, I think he is the best trash talker who doesn't even mean to be a trash talker in the UFC. He doesn't go out of his way. I feel like his trash talking style is exactly like his fight style, right? It's unpredictable. It's like a drunk man. It's like a puppy dog with 100 pounds on you. It just comes out of nowhere. And when it does, it hurts more than you'd expect it to, right? And it's, again, like his fight style. He doesn't even seem like he's throwing the fastest, strongest punches. It doesn't look like he's trying to hurt you that much, but he is, and it sucks. So that's how his trash talk stings too, man. He comes in there with an awkward style of trash talk, the same way he's got an awkward style of fighting, and when he lands, it lands. And if he says something goofy, it's just like Robert Whittaker. I looked at him and I thought he looked slow, and then he knocked me out. Like that's so maybe a zinger doesn't land, but then when one does, pop, let's go. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, man. Hey, Cross. Khamzat's gonna have a difficult time trash talking with DDP. We all know this. Obviously, he's got a good level of English, and he control himself when he really wants to. We've seen Khamzat do it, right? But do you think Khamzat is just seeing as what DDP has done with everybody so far, including Sean Strickland, like I said, easy, all our favorite fighters has been there. Your favorite fighter is about to go through it. Do you think you better leave the trash talking till he gets in the cage and do the talking in the cage?
So first off, like I can admit, DDP's trash talk game is A1. I can definitely give him credit. He definitely won. He definitely won the first little skirmish between the two. But at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want. It does not matter. Keep that same energy when you get in the octagon. And Khamzat gonna show up, and the first 5 minutes he gonna be on that ass, and it is what it is. Like if you survive, you survive, but if you don't, it's gonna be a rough night. And you never know. Like Khamzat probably gonna be talking a little trash while he's mauling your boy. So just get ready for it.
Okay, that's why I just raised a point right here before I come to Sterling. I'll stay with you for a second, Ross. Cross. Matwa says Mr. African Air, which is obviously calling Dricus Air Dricus. We after that surgery on his nose, we call it because he says he can breathe better. Now, you talking about the first round. Are you looking at this as a 1 round type of bout? Is that how you're seeing this?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But the fact remains, guys. The 4th and 5th round don't matter if you don't make it through the 1st and 2nd round. Like you gotta make it through those first 5 minutes. It is what it is. Like I get it. Dricus is gonna be there if he can make it through the 1st round. We all are aware of that. But
it sounds like you don't think he makes it past that first 5 minutes.
That's why I got him there.
Like it sounds like are you discounting him in the first 5 to 10 minutes of this fight? That's the question.
I'm just saying, bro, like the goofy style on the feet is one thing. That doesn't play on the ground, bro. It's all technical. This is Khamzat's
5 dudes in one night from a Gracie Barra Academy.
Yeah, but that's BJJ. That's not wrestling with BJJ. It's a different type of grappling.
That's fair.
Totally different. And at the end of the day, like Sambo brother, who give these guys black belt?
Yes,
BJJ.
Sir.
It is what it is, man.
Don't use Dagestan against me, bro. Don't do that.
That's Nurmagomedov. What do you mean, dog? That's Nurmagomedov over there. Those are his people.
That's nasty work, bro.
Only when you came back for him, he had to take you there, bro.
My gosh.
That boy coming in hot.
I tried to think Cross in the corner, I tried to see if you're really thinking, DDP not going to get out of the first round. Is that what you're really saying? But all right, you cleared it up. But Sterling, number one question: has DDP made a fan of you after that Strickland domination that we just seen, right? And on top of that, how do you see this fight between DDP and Khamzat? We've not really heard that from you on the fight week show. If you can lay it down to the people, how do you see it going? What do you think the game plan is going to be, especially the man of yourself that actively get down in the cage and whatnot.
I see you rubbing your hands together down there, Yao. First of all, I see you down there, and you know what, boys? I was about to say I might hit y'all with something you're not expecting here, but you nailed it. You nailed it, Ola. Dricus made a fan out of me. I can't hate on the. I mean, bro, I love how evil he is, bro. What he told to Sean Strickland when he said, "You think your dad beat you? Your dad doesn't got shit on me." And then Sean started crying, and then told Izzy about his dead dogs and like some African pathway from where he is now, and had Izzy in fucking tears. This man's evil. Broke fucking Robert Whitaker. I mean, made Darren Till tap. Put the choke in for 5 seconds and made Darren Till tap. I mean,
he ended Darren Till's MMA career, to be specific.
I mean, if we're just being real, it is what it is. And here's the thing, too. Khamzat fights one time every 3 years. He is not active enough to deal with somebody like this. I think Dricus is going to come in here and just do what he's been doing to people, boys, and dominate. And Khamzat's cardio sucks. So that's my opinion with it, dog. DDP made a fan out of your boy, though.
Hey, you know what? That's one extra fan there for DDP, but so his fan's gonna keep growing. I wanted this to happen way earlier, and I said it to Yao. Yao, if you remember the specific reason I told you that I wanted him to fight Khamzat rather than fighting Strickland, I said to you, I want him. 1 second. I want him to take Khamzat's fans, right? That was the reason, the main reason. He beat Khamzat in Middle East. He's taking all his fans and running with it. And obviously the Sean Strickland fight happened, and now he knows Khamzat is next. So yeah, let me sort out that audio real quick.
Just a quick one on what Sterling said, where it comes to Khamzat's cardio versus Dricus's, and like I just posted in the chat. Fact is, Pretoria is 1,400 meters above sea level. Khamzat has moved to Dubai to fight at sea level. Just like that, Dricus instantly has an advantage where it comes to the cardio. So everything you're saying, Cross, I hear you about the first maybe round and a half. Can maybe Khamzat take Dricus down and hold him down and possibly be strong. And possibly be stronger than the guy twice his size. Let's be realistic. Khamzat fights at welterweight. Dricus is currently at middle, going to light heavy. There's no ways that Khamzat is going to come in with the right weight advantage.
That's a good point.
Cardio versus someone who fights at 1,400 meters above sea level. Listen, I'm just saying, if Khamzat was still in the mountains of Dagestan, maybe, but he's not. He's in Dubai at sea level.
I'm piggybacking that, brother. Before you can get in there, Cross. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We're ganging up on you right now, kid. Look, you got a guy who can't cut weight versus a natural middleweight that could, with all due respect, go up to light heavyweight and probably dominate there in a shallow division. He'd be a shark in a pond full of guppies, in my humble opinion. And, brother, I don't think we've even seen him have to flex the cardio since getting his nose fixed. As someone who can't breathe out of their nose, let me tell you, I can attest to it. Dude, I just think he's going to go out there and not only is he going to beat Khamzat, he's going to run laps around him, bro. He's going to make it look easy.
Okay, to address the welterweight claims, Khamzat has the same amount of fights at middleweight in the UFC as he does at welterweight. Just throwing that out there. Just saying it. Also,
and how many middleweight fights professionally does his opponent have?
It's irrelevant because he hadn't fought the Wolf. It's irrelevant. It don't matter. It don't matter. Like, all that sounds good before when you get locked in there with the Wolf, brother. Exactly. Now I hear you with now I hear you with the cardio and being at altitude, training higher above sea level, 100%. But he already had the advantage in cardio, brother. That's nothing new. That's not a new dimension. We already knew that. At the end of the day, when he gets those hands on you, it does not matter. None of the talk. It's gonna be like Khabib. Let's talk now. Let's talk now. When I got these hands on you, brother. Let's talk now.
Cross, just to back you up, you also saw the video I put in the chat with John Gooden. When he grappled with Hamza, you heard what he said. Like, he deals with these people. Shout out to Crossface Gym out there in Watford. That's where he trains with Sam Patterson, who's welterweight UFC fighter now, and yeah, and he was talking about the level of Khamzat's grappling, and bro, he's been in there with a lot of bad people, man. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm just saying. I know somebody else said it to me with a direct contact in grappling with Khamzat, and they're saying this guy, he does bad things to people in the gym, man. Like he's crazy. You guys saw it, so you know. But it's going to be around the corner. It's only a matter of time, man.
Hey, y'all. He's gonna beat your boy. He's gonna beat your boy.
I know you don't like this. He's gonna smash your boy, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. Go to smash your boy. Yeah.
I was like, I know exactly where he's pulling that from.
As the current foremost expert on underdogs and dogs winning, because I have 4 in a row.
Yeah, let it out,
I can safely tell you that the underdog in this fight, being Chimaev, will not win that fight.
So you telling us don't pick it for dog of the week? We just go waste points. That's what you're saying? All right, I'll take your advice. Yeah, you're right up there, but you know what I mean. I'll try to catch McDane and leave Mr. Basement where he is. All right, let's go to let's go to the next topic that Leroy's put together for us, and we'll come to all in on that one soon as it's finished playing. Let's go.
Caio recently shared his thoughts on how Dricus du Plessis would fare against both Khamzat Chimaev and Ep.80. Caio believes either Dricus or Khamzat could win in the potential matchup. However, when it comes to Ep.80, Caio thinks Alex would kill Dricus. He went on to say he doesn't have a beautiful game, but he makes it work. He has heavy hands and a strong chin. His best quality, in my opinion, is that even when he is tired, he keeps the same pace. He is always very disciplined on his strategy, and he never leaves a punch without an answer. Every time I doubt Dricus, he won. So I think it would depend pretty much about his understanding of Khamzat Chimaev's game. I don't think so. In my opinion, Chimaev would win, but after all I saw Dricus doing, it wouldn't surprise me if Dricus won instead. On Alex, Caio continued Poatan would kill him. Poatan is really effective on distance control and reach. Dricus makes a lot of mistakes, and against Poatan, you cannot commit mistakes. You make a mistake and you are dead. I truly think Dricus would be knocked out.
Ollie, that's for you, man. What's your take?
Well, I'm a big Ep.80 fan. I do think that he has the best distance management probably in all of UFC. And he's probably not wrong. I do think that Alex could probably knock him out. He presents problems for him. But I think that, you know, just like he said, he was sitting on the fence about the Khamzat pick, right? Like he was saying, based on what he's seen, he thinks Khamzat would win, but he also wouldn't be surprised if DDP would win because every time he bets against DDP, DDP surprises him. So, I mean, look, dude, I know someone else that wears shades and is going to be surprised when DDP beats his boy. He's right above me. His name's Cross. So him and Caio have something in common, right? They're both betting Khamzat, but they're both, you know, going to be a little not surprised when they see DDP pull it off, I think.
Yeah,
and they'll both be wearing a very nice pair of shades right after, too.
A Cross. the one that I really want, because you've answered your case with Khamzat. But the one that I really want to talk to you about is the Poatan side of what Borralho was talking about there. And I mean, is it how do I frame this? Is it crazy to think that DDP can go there, grab this boy, take him down, and just batter him? Like, is it inconceivable?
It's not crazy, but I mean, it definitely can happen. But I think the likelihood of it happening at 205 is a lot less likely than it happening at 185. For starter, then on top of it, if you've beaten somebody Alex Periera is close to, he's putting you away. Whether that's Glover, Sean Strickland, does not matter. And as we know, DDP has beaten his boy, Sean Strickland. So I'm just saying, DDP might not want to get in there. We've already seen the story. He's like Thanos. That's why the Magomed Ankalaev fight, in my opinion, is way more dangerous because Ankalaev hasn't beaten any of his boys.
Right. Yeah, that's a truly fascinating fight. I can't wait till that fight happens because since they went to 205, I've been saying, why are you, man, giving him all these bombs? Give him Ankalaev, man, but they kept swerving it, man. Like, I know they give that boy Ankalaev, man. It's gonna be a terrible night for him. But in terms of Poatan and DDP, like Sterling, I know you like Alex Periera as well. And we've seen the work that he's done in the UFC. But these two guys, I mean, the amount of wins that they're racking up is crazy, and they're doing it at a very, very high level. Do you think DDP has a chance against Poatan at 205?
I think so, bro. Just because Periera's never fought nobody like that, that's just gonna rush him down. Like, I think DDP's gonna stay true to himself, bro, no matter who he fights, and I think that's why it fucks up a lot of people. Like Robert Whittaker, Izzy, Darren, Sean, 2 times. It's hard to deal with, dude. And Dricus must fucking crack, bro. The reaction he gets from these guys when he hits is insane. So,
with a jab.
I think he has a chance. With the jab, yes, bro. I think he has a chance to do it, Ola. But you know me pulling for Alex Pereira in that one. I am a Dricus guy now, Keith, but I can't pick with them over Chama. You know what I'm saying? But I do think them Aztec genes just have so much going on for them right now, and he murks anyone in front of him.
Hey, he just mentioned Aztec genes right there, yeah, but yow. I haven't heard it. Yeah, all I've heard a lot of DDP. A lot of people don't give Coach Monavisa the credit that man deserves. I mean, how intelligent the game planning that he puts together at CIT for all them fighters that they've got over there. You need to go and look at the gym that Dricus comes from. They got killers everywhere. And this brother, the head coach down there, Coach Monavisa, he is crazy talented. And the way that he game plan for these guys, I don't know what type of game plan they'll be able to put together with DDP going up to fight someone like a Poatan. But you know, what high praises do you give Coach Monavisa over there, and you know, what kind of strategy do you think he employs to go and fight Poatan?
One thing is that the taser will definitely be in action, and if you listen to DDP's post-fight speech, he's like, listen, the coach is probably going to tase me for not finishing this fight. They very interesting
right there.
It's
crazy.
Yeah.
That interview that you guys saw me having with Martin, that was at Team CIT. So they have a lot of great fighters, a lot of champions in that gym. Now, in terms of how they do it, for me, the key to the person who beats Dricus is someone who sits down and says, we, not I. Everyone that's come up against Dricus has said I, and they've lost. Dricus has consistently said, me and my team, what we are doing. And the only person that can beat him is someone who comes with a team strategy that approaches him as a fighter, as a team. So, like you said, whatever they're doing at CIT, Mone Fisser has them working as a team. And because fighting is an individual sport, it's very difficult to get team mentality, but that's what they've managed to get at CIT. So for me, that is one of the defining differences between Dricus and any other opponent. Poatan, we can almost say there's almost like a team sort of environment, but he moves around a lot. Yes, he gets a lot of skills, but he's always with Glover and Pelino. But it's still, you know, you can see it's a lot of Poatan. So for me, the person that comes and says we is the one who beats Dricus.
Yeah, high praises indeed, man. And yeah, that's not a bad strategy and mindset to carry, you know, in a way to go and get a win over DDP. We're still waiting for that loss. I don't think it's gonna come anytime soon. But yeah, we will see. We'll see. Leroy has another video together for us. But before I go to that video, people, please make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're showing love. And if you're watching on any other platform like an X or Twitch or something, get on over to YouTube. Go on the boys' platforms. Show some love there. Matter of fact, subscribe to everybody. Mary did it. If Mary can do it, nothing wrong with you lot doing it. You know what I mean? It's a big shout out to Mary, man. Hey,
no window shoppers.
Come on. Yeah, man.
Like,
you know
comment, subscribe. You already know the deal, folks. At the Fight Week Show, at S-Dogs MMA Talk, at Crossover MMA, at Kick 'em in the Head, the Head Kick Pod, at MMA Anomaly, folks. Make sure you subscribe to all these channels. We are all here for you, and we always love seeing you all in the chat.
Yeah, man. Salute. Okay, let's get to the next one here, and we'll come to Cross first on this next topic.
Alexander Volkanovski has announced that he has begun training camp for his next fight. While no official announcement has been made, rumors suggest he may be preparing for a rematch with Ilia Topuria at UFC 314.
Hopefully fight announcement soon. But we in camp, been in camp for a while. We've been doing like a pre-camp. So now we're pretty much in camp. Good bodies here for us already. Or even at Bang Tao, you always got good bodies there. But I've got Craig Jones here that's come with us. Joe's with us. Obviously Frank, Brad's here. So we've got a heap of good guys to work with over here. I think Aljo's over here as well. So maybe we'll get some training in. But so it's going to be a good trip. You know, it's only going to be a short sort of stay. Only not even 2 weeks, but we'll try and make the most of it.
Yeah, man. Cross, how excited are you to see Alex Volkanovski, step back into the cage? We know he got knocked out by Ilia, but he didn't have a proper.
He knows.
He didn't have a proper camp coming into that fight. This time, he's taking his time. He's taking some time out of the gym, out of the cage, and now he feels ready, focused to get back in there. How excited are you to see that fight, first of all, and how do you think he does?
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to it. I think it's going to be much more competitive than the first fight. I think.
Full mount.
Yo, big respect to Full Mount MMA.
Sir.
Yeah, big respect.
Sir. He's the man.
We love your work, brother.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
But I think the second fight's gonna be kind of like Volk's last stand, if you will. Like, I think this fight is gonna be way more competitive. Volk is gonna have much more time. He knows exactly what he's getting himself into. But I think ultimately the result's gonna look pretty much the same for me. I just think at some point, Ilia's hands are so crispy and the combinations are so on point and so fast that he's gonna find Volk at some point. He's over 5 rounds, like he's gonna hit him. And Volk's coming off 2 brutal KOs, and I don't think his chin's ever gonna be the same. And unfortunately, at the end of guy's career, man, like that, once that chin goes, it's a wrap.
To 3 of you, Sterling, Yao, Olin, does anyone give Volk a chance? Like, do you man think does any of you think he wins?
I give him a chance.
No, do you think he wins? Forget the chance.
Ilia gets sick.
Fuck the chance. Do you think he wins?
I agree with Cross. He's got to be perfect for 25 minutes, and his opponent only has to land 1 combination. And that's the unfortunate truth. He's 2-3 in his last 5. He's hurt still. Sorry. I was just saying, like, he's coming off brutal knockouts. So, like, it's tough to come back off that. Like the analogy I like to use, I'm big on analogies, is think of it like a milk carton. Your chin is like a milk carton. There's an expiration date on that chin. And every time you take that milk carton out of the fridge, say, maybe you forget it on the fridge for 30 minutes. You're taking time off that expiration date. It's like eating shots to the chin. And now, at this point in his career, those shots have started to add up. We've seen it in his last 2 fights. This isn't going to get better for him. It's probably going to get worse.
When you said milk carton, I thought you were going to, like, if you squeeze a milk carton, squeeze.
Boys, you also got to think about the confidence that Ilia's gotten since sparking him and the first guy to ever sleep Max Holloway. The confidence that Ilia has now, plus he's getting so much better, bro. And Volk might be getting better, but he's also getting older. So it's hard, bro. Ilia is just a dog, man.
He's a serious fighter, man. I mean,
he's a dog.
Yao.
Look, weirdly enough, I give Volk a chance if it goes to the ground. We saw him surviving against Ortega. Yes, Ortega's not as strong.
That'd be his best
Topuria.
chance.
Yeah, because striking, like Cross said, he's just too crispy with the hands. Those 4-punch combinations are just like no one really does the way he does.
Let's not forget Ilia Topuria entered the UFC as a grappler.
What he said.
He didn't have any boxing skills whatsoever. He entered the UFC solely on his grappling skills.
Crazy.
He is a very high-level black belt. And Sorry.
The reason I think Volk can survive there is if he has a full camp, maybe the strength will just like match possibly Ilia's. But other than that, I don't think I see him winning really.
It'd be hard, bro. The ground's his best bet, Yao. Like a takedown or awkward shoot, or maybe Ilias just isn't on his game, but he's never not showed up on his game. So,
do you guys know you all are dead to Leroy? Do you know that right now? You
Absolutely.
all understand.
Absolutely.
Leroy,
I think I was dead to Leroy after 10 shots or so last week.
Hey, dude, I'm telling you, that was amazing. That was art. That's what that was. And shout out Jax. What's up, baby boy?
Shout out Mr. Baseman.
You know, there was a group in the 90s, if you remember. It was called Basement Jacks.
Yeah, I know about Basement Jacks. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. You know,
slick.
Hey, Basement Jacks, listen to this. The real question is, what are the odds that you're gonna get out of the basement, bro? Yeah.
Ola! Evil Ola!
Oh my gosh.
Evil Ola is my favorite.
Hey, big up Jax, man. Salute, big love.
Jax.
All right. We got another one here from Leroy that is put together right here. And I'm gonna come to Sterling first on this, and then we'll go around the table. Let's go.
Belal Muhammad has made it clear once again that he has no intention of facing Islam Makhachev. As the current welterweight champion, Belal stated that he would rather move up to middleweight, allowing Islam the chance to compete for the welterweight title and achieve double champ status.
Thanks. Now, what about if he says you got to fight Islam?
I would never fight Islam because that's different for me and him.
I know it is, right?
We've trained together, right. And you know, when you're sweating with somebody and you're bleeding with somebody and you train with somebody like that, it's just a different relationship. Like it wouldn't be about money for me or for him. I don't assume. So like I would never want to do that. And like they've helped me so much. So for me, I would rather go up to 185 and let him just take 170 if that's the case. And like since I've already had to fight my way up to 170 and I've been top 10 guys. Like I'm 2 fights away from being able to challenge at 185 and saying, hey, I want to be double champ.
What do you walk around at weight-wise?
Probably like 190.
So 185 is no problem for you?
Oh, no, 185 wouldn't be no problem. And I train with bigger guys.
Yeah.
So I've felt their strength. And a lot of, like I think 185 is probably the easiest weight class besides Khamzat. Like when you look at that main event this weekend,
an animal, yeah.
You're like, bro, Strickland and Plessis suck.
This guy's talking more than he's fighting. Like he's
hey, yeah, you get your chance. You will get your chance, yeah. Let Sterling get us going on this take right here, man. Because Belal is talking fire, bro. But let's talk about the first point of him not wanting to see Islam, right? I believe he knows Islam does him over. But I want to get your take on this. Why you think he's not fighting Islam? Or if you believe what he's saying in terms of, you know, they're really cool mates that, you know, fight in the same gym and all this other stuff. And do you think he beats Islam? If Islam, because Islam didn't care when he was talking about who's a welterweight. He just wants to go out there and kick ass. He didn't care about Belal. So what do you think?
Bro, if I'm Belal, I wouldn't want to fight Islam either. You're going to get dominated. You're going to get bodied by a dude 15 pounds lighter than you in a weight class. It's going to be a massacre. All this, I went over there and sweat with them. I guarantee you Islam don't give a fuck about that. Islam's out saying, I don't want to fight Belal because we sweat together. He wants to fight you because he knows it's a domination in the first and second round. He wants to fight you to literally be able to legally kill a man. He's going to come out there and dominate him. And then the fact that he says he wants to go up and fight a guy like Dricus and you walk around 190, homeboy. Dricus's fucking left bicep is 87 pounds. What the fuck do you think you're going to do? Come in there and stand and bang with this dude. And you can't stand and bang with nobody. You beat Sean Brady. You knocked out one dude 4 or 5 years ago. I get it. That was domination. Bro, you're not going to come in there and do nothing to that. I know you're confident because you wrestle fucked Leon Edwards for 5 rounds and sent him on his head. Bubba, you're going to get dealt with. I hope it happens just so we can see why there's weight classes. But I'm telling y'all, this man's smoking on that shit.
As Olin, you know these guys. You know you've been around them, and in terms of what Belal is saying there, I don't want it to go up to because I've not heard Islam one time this whole time talking about I don't want to fight Belal because Belal's the champ. right? He's eyeballing that fucking 170 division like a fucking homeless, hungry man. You know that's
brother
how
is hungry. He's starving right now, and everybody else is they're boarding up the windows to keep the homeless out. That's what it feels like, right? I think you're absolutely right here. I think having seen Islam in the gym, having been a fan of his long before he was even like a household name, I think he does bad things to Belal. I say this as a Belal fan. Like, Belal follows me on social media. I hope he's not watching the show. But again,
I just saw your comment, man.
Like, with all due respect, DDP's bicep fights an atom weight, according to my boy Sterling.
That's hilarious.
So, dude, like, I just think there's something, and it's obvious, right? Every time somebody goes and trains with Islam and they're not in his weight class, they pretty much say that they don't want to fight him. Like, Leon Edwards was not jumping at the opportunity anytime he was asked about it. Now the current champ, not jumping at the opportunity anytime he's asked about it. Instead, he literally said, yeah, I'll go to a different weight class. Like, if you read between the lines, homie said, I will run. I will run. I will run the fuck away, bro. I don't want to be here.
Facts.
He's running.
He's running, bro. And he's like, if you are willing to go 20 pounds up to where you know people hit harder than you, or 15 pounds up where you know people hit harder than you, how bad did you get dog walked at AKA, bro?
Yeah, bro. Weight classes for a reason, dog. These dudes are the baddest at their weight class.
Unless your name is Nurmagomedov, bro. Then you can basically do whatever you want, and Joe Rogan will probably butcher your name.
Yeah.
Hey, Cross, let me come to you first on this. Do you think the horror that Belal is talking is on some real shit? Like, do you give him benefit of the doubt, or is it really running in your eyes? And is whole DDP and Strickland take as well going to 185 to see those guys?
I mean, I think he'll have a better chance against DDP than he would Islam. And I think he's already seen that in the gym. When bro, they have trained together.
Y'all scratching.
Like
you say what the fuck, but the man speaking fact.
Bro, we've seen it in an interview. Belal said it himself. When I'm in training, when I'm with Islam, he'll be putting me in things, and he'll be telling me how to get out of it. Like, brother, do this, and then I get out of it, and then he still defeats me. Like, he already knows what time it is, dog. He's already seen it firsthand. So
mean, bro. Dricus is fucking mean. Dricus is fucking mean.
Bro, it does not matter when you're in the cage.
Islam's going to choke him out. Islam's going to choke him out. Dricus is going to beat the shit out of him.
Agenda from Cross.
Oh, man, he's tightening the rope, guys. Watch out.
He had his scratching your head.
Cross Nurmagomedov, dog.
From bald guy over there to bald guy down here, he had you scratching your head, bro. Like, bro, he had you scratching your head. Like, yo, what you got for cost? From a bald guy to the next bald guy. Yeah?
Let's not have this turn into bald on bald violence. We can't have that on the channel. We can't endorse that, folks.
Oh man, MVP versus MVP.
There's more than one bald guy in the UFC.
I know. I couldn't think.
What the fuck?
I flashed out.
Hey, you could have said MVP versus Usman or something, dude.
Oh, that's it. That is
literally.
That is it. I was hoping y'all didn't hear me. I was like, fuck. My brain. Look, not everything can be a home run, boys. You swing sometimes, and you can't hit the fence all the time.
Hey, tell him.
So look,
that was more like a foul where you get to walk a base.
I was happy when Belal won the title when he beat Leon. But since then, all he's been doing is really just talking and not about anything that makes sense. He's not talking about his division. He's not talking about how he can actually be an active champ, a real champ. He's running around on social media talking 2 divisions up, talking about who he won't fight in Islam. I mean, why are you talking about who you won't fight? We don't care. What are you going to do for your division to show that you are one of the best if you really are? So honestly, I'm getting tired of hearing from Belal at this point. He reminds me of McGregor, where you just hear from him and you're like, but why are we hearing from this guy? He needs to fight and shut up. And then we can talk about him for reasons that make sense. But for now, all of that for me is just hot air with him attempting to stay relevant in a way that doesn't even make sense because it's not even interesting. Like, who wants to hear about him going 2 weight classes up? He hasn't even defended his title.
Shavkat.
Why we listen to this?
We want the Shavkat fight. And this dude wants to fight Dricus. Like, nah, brother.
That's crazy to me. That's
brother.
Like
Shavkat's right there.
And you know what? You just brought Shavkat up, right?
I want to see Shavkat versus Islam for the vacant belt.
Hey,
I'm sorry. I had to throw that out there. Like that just makes me salivate, boys. I'm sorry. You can take the floor.
It'd be fun.
Sterling, you just mentioned Shavkat there. Do you think Belal don't even give his all to Shavkat just to get out of the way for Islam?
Bro.
Do you think he just calls over and just get out of the way for Islam?
Bro, it's insane to me how this dude's won the title 6 months ago. Hasn't fought since. We don't even know if he even gonna fight this year, maybe. And he's already went the double champ status. Bro, you gotta do at least Islam fought Volkanovski 2 times, Oliveira and Poirier. I respect that way better than what the fuck Belal. Bro, name 4 people Belal's beat. Name 3. You know what I'm saying? It's insane to me, bro. Like we got to get back to like fighting your weight class out, clear your division.
Sean Brady, Leon Edwards, and who's another one? Oh, exactly. Gilbert Burns.
That's it. In the last 2 to 3 years, I think that's all 3 people he's fought.
Those are good names. It's only for three times that. Belal's not busy. It's not busy like that. It's not busy enough.
He's a 1 to 2 time a year kind of guy at best.
Yeah, and they suck. The fights suck.
Bro, come on. Grappling is part of MMA, brother. You don't like grappling? Stop the takedown, brother.
Listen,
but I love the way Islam does.
Don't you lot miss Usman? Don't you guys miss Usman? Like how busy it was.
I miss Usman's knees, bro.
Champion.
Would you rather win a boring fight or lose an exciting fight?
I'd rather win a boring fight. I'd rather win a boring fight because I get 2 paychecks.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a good point.
I get 2 paychecks, dog.
That's a good point.
I work on currency.
That's a good point.
I'm sorry, bro. I work on revenue.
No, I'm looking at it like a Justin Gaethje mentality. Like win, lose, or draw, you're always gonna have a contract. But if you're trying to get the money out of it, win.
Justin Gaethje fought an exciting fight against Khabib, and he lost to the guy that fought the safer fight, who got 2 paychecks and retired a legend. There's a reason for all the things that happened in that fight. I love Justin Gaethje.
He's not boring though.
Hold on.
I mean, that's facts. That's facts.
Hold up for a minute, Olin. We got a video. Leroy got a video for you on that very topic you're talking about there. So we're gonna get the take on that one. But before we go there, Cross, I want to throw one to you because this is a fight I've been waiting for a long time, especially when Khamzat was still at 170, right? And that's Shavkat and Khamzat Chimaev. Obviously, Khamzat's your boy, but Shavkat versus Khamzat, in your mind, how do you think that fight goes?
So before the Shavkat Ian Gary fight, I would have thought that would have been a very tough matchup for Khamzat. But after seeing the Ian Gary Shavkat fight, I don't think Shavkat wants that energy or wants that smoke. Like I think we saw it when there's a legit threat in front of him where he's actually concerned. He's not as aggressive. He stays at range a little bit more. And I think if they were locked inside of there, like one of those guys would be going after the other guy.
That's a good point too by Leroy. That's a good point by Leroy.
Hey, listen, you made a good one there. I just hope.
But you don't get pay-per-view points unless you're a champ.
I just hope at some point that fight happens. Let's look, Leroy. Let's go into that video right now because we're talking about Gaethje now, and then I'm gonna come to Olin since he's gasping to talk about Gaethje and Khabib.
Justin Gaethje has acknowledged that Khabib Nurmagomedov was his toughest opponent to date. He feels that Islam Makhachev is a more favorable matchup for him than Khabib. Gaethje is currently in training camp, gearing up for his fight against Dan Hooker at UFC 313 next month.
Who's the toughest opponent you have ever faced? I think Khabib was probably the one who I felt, even if I performed better, I'm not sure that I could have beat him on that night specifically. So that night that I fought Khabib, I would say that he was my toughest opponent to date. Who's your dream opponent? I want to fight Makhachev. He's the champ, and I do believe that is a better matchup for me than Khabib, but he's good.
Belal, I mean, just hearing Gaethje say the things he just said, I want to fight Makhachev, man. He makes Belal look like a pussy, bro. I don't say that lightly, bro. You know what I mean? That's crazy, bro. But Olin, talk about that, that whole Khabib and Justin conversation you was having. That's why I said hold your thought earlier on, brother.
Yeah, man. Obviously, I like to come into these shows and give my honest reaction. I see the message come through with some of the topics, but I like to not give myself time to prep for it so the way I can be shocked. So sorry for trailing into the next topic without realizing it was a freaking topic, obviously. But man, he's right about one thing, right? Khabib is definitely the toughest opponent he's faced so far. But when he fights Islam, I think that's going to change. Islam is just like Khabib, but he doesn't want to drown you. He wants to hurt you. He wants to get the finish. He wants to inflict damage. The way that he fights is a more visceral, more venomous style than Khabib. Khabib wanted to dominate you. He wanted to get the point win. And it wasn't a boring style because he would smash, right? Like he'd get on top of you and he'd do damage. But he wasn't constantly fishing for submissions. Islam will put you to sleep. Islam will break your arm. Islam will snap your ankle. Islam will tear your ligaments in your legs and make it to where you can't walk for months to come. He's not concerned with that kind of stuff. Like his job is to put you out. As a lot of folks that I grew up with that would do, some contracting work would say, they're not paid by the hour, they're paid by the job. So that's the mentality Islam goes into this with. And I think that he would very quickly change Justin Gaethje's mentality on this fight if he gets past Dan Hooker, because I think he's looking past Hooker a little bit if we can call a spade here, boys.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I
was looking at scary dude.
I was watching Hooker versus Edson Barbosa.
Poirier? Oh,
no, Edson Barbosa,
my God, bro! What Edson did to him? What Edson did to him?
About being tough. The definition of toughness was what Dan Hooker showed that night. The amount of wincing that he did from some of them back spinning kicks from Babos. That fight was horrible, guys.
Horrible.
Now, if you haven't seen it or you forgot what that was about, go back and watch it.
Please.
And you're going to respect Dan Hooker coming into this fight because this is for Justin Gaethje.
Let me tell you, folks, if Dan Hooker didn't piss blood after that fight, then Leroy can outdrink me 10 out of 10 days a week. Let's go.
Hey.
Let me go to yo. Hear this, yo. I mean, the way Justin Gaethje obviously saying he wants to get in there with Islam. If everybody remembers, I cast your mind back to when Khabib finished him in front of his parents, and he had him in an armbar, and he transitioned so quickly. We didn't even notice how quickly it transitioned until he spoke about it. I went back and looked, and I thought, oh my God, he did it better than Demetrius Johnson for the reasons he did it for. That, to me, that was just crazy transition. Do you think Islam shows Gaethje that kind of sympathy, that kind of like, I don't want to do this to you in front of your parents if Islam was in that sort of position?
Bro. No, not at all. I think he would absolutely destroy him because I think, like everyone said, he's a different kind of fighter. He's got a slightly different mentality that makes it more interesting to watch him wrestle and grapple. We saw what he did against Dustin Poirier, and if you look at who Islam has beaten, I mean, MMA math doesn't math, sure. But at the end of the day, there's certain aspects that math, and that's one of them where I don't think Justin Gaethje stands a chance against Islam. I think in terms of the Dan Hooker fight, he is overlooking Dan. Dan is an absolute monster. Yes, he's taken many, many shots in his career, but he can hurt you. As much as he might lose a fight, if he loses, you will come out hurt. Look at Jalen Turner. You will come out hurt one way or the other. So I think Justin will get a title shot soon. It might be against Islam. We don't know, depending on how he defeats Dan Hooker. But I think he needs to be very careful with how he considers the current champ, because Islam has shown that he literally is the pound for pound #1 best for a reason. You cannot look past him.
100%. Cross, you love your Dagestanis, man. You know what I mean? We see what the chat do to you, and you know what I mean? The chat be getting after you, man. And on your Dagestani fighters, man. But what's your take on this whole situation right here?
I mean, I can see where Gaethje's coming from by saying that. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that Khabib was his toughest opponent. But I think that's for two different reasons. With Khabib being 28-0 at the time, the aura around Khabib, it being his last fight, him just losing his father on Fight Island, there's nobody really there. Like that whole environment and that fight was probably one of one. But when he gets, if he is able to get in front of Islam, I think he's going to realize it's a totally different type of puzzle to solve. Whereas with Khabib's just going to bludgeon you over and over and over until you just break. Islam is just, he's more like a surgeon, very fine, goes about it, trying to figure out where you're weak at. That's where he applies pressure, is going to attack you here. But he will play around with you with in areas of things that you do well, but he's still going to find your switch and like what does it for you, and he's going to figure you out. And I think ultimately it's pretty much just like what your taste is. If you just like somebody that just goes in there and just bludgeons people and just breaks their will, then that's obviously Khabib. But if you like a guy that's very adaptable and moldable to whomever is in front of them and can match his style for whatever he needs to do, then obviously that's Islam.
That was a good breakdown right there.
Yeah, man. Big up everybody locked in with us right now. Big up every single one of you. Salute to you. Make sure you're showing love to all the guys on the panel, and you're showing love to the chat. Okay, we got a couple more videos here, and I want to come to. I'm gonna come to Yao on this one first. This one here is it's very interesting. Let's take a look.
Henry Cejudo is not a fan of the idea of Sean O'Malley receiving an immediate rematch against Merab Dvalishvili. Merab defeated O'Malley via unanimous decision this past September, capturing the bantamweight title. Henry believes a second fight would result in the same outcome and says O'Malley should instead face Corey Sandhagen next. Speaking at home of fight, Henry said, "I think that's stupid. It's not like O'Malley is a pay-per-view king. His fights don't do shit, man. I think the person that they should give him is Corey Sandhagen. That fight with Sandhagen makes a lot of sense. Sandhagen could potentially beat him. Sandhagen is tricky. I still think Merab beats him, but he has the tools to really shut out Merab's freaking lights. That's the cool thing about it."
Okay, yo. I mean, this whole matchmaking situation is mad. Should O'Malley be going to see Merab as quick as he is, knowing what Merab is like? That's well, this is a two-part question. And should Cejudo just be focusing on what he needs to do to get back to title conversations? Because that's what he keeps, that's what he keeps talking about. He wants to get back to the title, and each time he's falling short. Should he be concentrating on that, on the first part that I asked you, and the second part? What are you saying?
So at this point, Henry Cejudo should be called Henry Lionheart Cejudo because he is doing exactly what I'm just saying.
Hey.
Come on, yeah. I thought we were good.
Cejudo was good.
Brutality. Look, that's just speaking to the fact that he needs to just focus more on what he's doing. Look, they have the great podcast, him and Kamaru Usman. Great takes, amazing takes. Their content's fantastic. The interviews are great, and I really enjoy his content, Henry Cejudo. However, when you get over distracted by analyzing people who aren't your potential opponents and over analyzing the table and all that and standings, it can affect your game mentally. Possibly you fought one of the guys in there, Merab, and now you're looking at who shouldn't fight him and all that, rather than saying who should I be fighting. So it is a bit tricky, but at the end of the day, content is content. He's taking his time out to give us his opinion. Doesn't mean he's not focusing on what he should be focusing on. So I do look forward to seeing him fight this coming weekend against Sedong. It's going to be so exciting because I just watched tapes on both of them, and it's going to be a very interesting fight. Yeah. So, look, in terms of the matchup, I agree. We shouldn't give O'Malley the immediate rematch. I think Merab should definitely defend, and maybe O'Malley sits on the sidelines if he wants to, but maybe Sandhagen is a good matchup. I don't see Sandhagen beating O'Malley at this point, but if he does, we might have another Shuivasa situation. And just quickly, speaking of which, we spoke about Australians earlier. They tend to be very funny. If you look at Robert Whittaker, he's hilarious right now. I mean, he's always doing funny stuff. You look at Tai Shuivasa, he's hilarious. We've got Steve Ursag, he's doing funny content. You got Alexander Volkanovski, he's doing old man talk.
Are you calling the Australians jokers? Is that where this is going? Are you calling them jokers?
At this point, they're doing it to themselves. They ain't me.
Hey, Leroy, you're a joker, blood. How do you say? Hey, you look at Yao.
It makes perfect sense when you think about it. And then think about Leroy, it makes perfect sense.
It does, isn't it? You know what I mean? I ain't saying it, but they said it. But Sterling, you heard what my man said about Cejudo there. You thought you were boys. What you got on that video there, brother?
Bro, really, I don't blame you, Yao. I'm not a big Cejudo guy, but you ain't got to throw the slug to Lionheart, brother. Come on, dog. My man's got an absolute war set up in April against an absolute killer, dog. My man got one more fight in him. Let's give a little love to Lionheart, man. But
who's he fighting again?
But you're not lying. Ming Yang.
Oh yeah. They sending him out and they're giving him a Viking funeral.
Hey man, no need for all this, boys. But I'll be real with you, Yao. The point about what you made about him, though, with Lionheart, about who guys need to fight, what do you think he should do with fights? That's 100%, though. Cejudo got dominated against Merab, talked all that shit about Aljo, got did up by Aljo. So it's like, we really can't believe you no more, brother. And then they're giving you an absolute killer with Song Yadong. You want to talk about a Vikings funeral cross? That's what this is about to be. We're about to witness a dead body. We're about to witness Song Yadong come out there and legally murder another human.
You saying he's going to Valhalla, bro?
Well, let's save this for the prediction show because that one is a bit.
All right, yeah, we go into the prediction. Olin, you got something on Cejudo? And I mean, not to really talk about the prediction, but like. The losses, he's been the one bending the knee lately, really.
He's been the one bending the knee since the beginning of time, my friend. I'm not here to crap on anybody, but if you're crapping on everybody and your greatest claim to fame was a rematch against the GOAT, oh, and by the way, I don't think you won that fight, considering you landed 51 significant strikes to the 81 of Demetrius Johnson. I could go through the spiel of breaking it down round by round, but here's the thing. He lost at least 3 of 5 of those freaking rounds to Demetrius Johnson in that fight. So, and if that's your best performance of all time, you should probably stop running your mouth and start running these fights, which he hasn't been doing as of late, right? We've seen him on a losing, falling from grace, as I like to say. And I think Song Yadong, for lack of better words, might have his number come Saturday evening. But that's another take for another show.
And Cross, you got something on this?
Yeah, I think whenever you got a fight coming up like that, man, you just need to be focused on your fight, what's in front of you. Don't worry about what else is going on. Like you can play analysts after the fight. You can get back to that. It's not going anywhere. But on the flip side, I mean, what he was saying about O'Malley, I personally don't think there's a outright number one contender at bantamweight right now, just because Merab's went through everybody. I think what should happen, we should get the O'Malley-Yan rematch, and then the winner fights Merab. Or O'Malley fights Sandhagen, because I know we all have been wanting to see that.
That's so, what it is, bro.
You know, it's a lot of matchups in bantamweight, and I mean, that's for us to talk about. So who don't worry about your fight this weekend, man?
Exactly, man. This fight is a killer in Song Yadong, man. Like I don't know why he's putting his mouth in what O'Malley got going on. What Merab got going on, like, bro, you need to try to get back to the top of the table.
What about that, Ola? What do you think about that, brother?
Does Cejudo have the least notable double champ run? I disagree with that. I think McGregor does.
No defenses, right?
No, yeah.
McGregor does.
No, that's a good point, though. That's a good point.
There you go.
Beat
Basement
Eddie and then
Jacks.
just kind of
stay in the basement. Get that comment of
oh, that's harsh.
Yeah,
that's harsh.
Yeah, Big up Basement Jacks, man. Big up Basement Jacks. All right, we got two more topics here, and then we're gonna stay with Cross on this one and get your take on it, and then we'll move on to the last topic. Let's go.
A few months ago, TJ Dillashaw took aim at Anthony Smith, stating that Smith would never become a UFC champion. TJ also mocked his nickname Lionheart, suggesting that he often gives up during his fights. In response, Smith fired back, calling TJ a juicehead, referencing his past doping violations. On the latest episode of the Jackson podcast, Bobby Green weighed in on the debate with TJ. Bobby argued that Anthony Smith has over 50 professional MMA fights. He emphasized that stepping into the cage more than 50 times takes immense heart and resilience.
Like when you said he wasn't a champ or he wasn't gonna be a champ, I get that, brother. I get it.
Yeah, that was wrong. Though,
but
right?
there's other parts to that. Like you're not gonna understand certain things. Like I was looking up your record. You're 18-5, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what 23 fights.
Yeah.
23. You seen how many fights Anthony Smith has?
How many you got?
He's like, I did it was like 38 and 20 something. I'm like,
numbers,
he's like
man.
50
I like
something, you know what I mean? Like, he's got a crazy number now. You know what I mean? Crazy
Journey,
number.
He's been around forever, right? Like,
so,
I won a world title and fighting for 4 years.
Yeah. I'm not, trust me, I'm not even comparing the two. There's not comparing the two. What I'm trying to get you to understand is this, is when you say like, he don't have no heart, for you to walk that walk 50 something times against the UFC's best.
To be a champion. Does he have heart to be a champion?
I got you.
But I understand, like, I'm blatantly
Let me go here.
Yeah.
I want to cut you off. Sorry.
No, you're good.
But what I'm saying is, one thing that you've been dealing with, injuries.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course.
And you can understand that part.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get to you. You can understand that part. It's like the injury part. It's like, for you to go out there 50 sometimes, you have to go out there and bust it up a lot. And so I think we don't take into consideration some of the things that maybe happen behind the scenes.
For sure.
You know? Like, I see what you were saying too. Like, sometimes it's a little quit in them, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, you don't know, bro. My nose already broke 4 times and he just hit me right in my again.
Yeah.
You know?
Fair.
It's like, bro.
Across. I mean, Bobby Green, he showed a lot of sympathy there towards Anthony Smith, and we know what he's been going through lately. He lost his very, very close friend in the last fight that he was in, and we actually thought he was going to hang it up in there. But do you think Dillashaw was being too harsh on Smith on some of his recent, well, not even recent losses, on some of his losses, full stop, and the way he's been competing versus what Bobby Green is talking about there?
I think this is one of those rare times where where all three guys were right. Anthony Smith was very right in calling TJ Dillashaw a juicehead. Very right. Mm-hmm. TJ Dillashaw is a fighter, is a former champion. He has the right to give his thoughts on other fighters that step in there. He's one of their peers. He can do that. And I also think Bobby Green's right in what he's saying, that Anthony Smith is got over 50 professional fights. I don't care who you are. You got to respect that, because it takes so much to get in there and do it time and time again. And just like he said in the clip, like dealing with injuries and everything going on outside the octagon, like it's not like you flip a switch and it's just easy to get in there and get it done. So I just think it's one of those things. Everybody's right. Everybody has their own point of view, perspective, and it is what it is.
Sterling, hearing about Anthony Smith there, for me, I think it needs to be hanging it up. And we heard obviously the type of things that he was dealing with to even ghost Bisping the way he right message, wrong messenger. Yeah, that's a funny one. But to see Anthony Smith go out the way he's been going out, like we said, he even ghosted Michael Bisping. Like, I don't think he should be getting in the mental state that he's in. I don't think he should be getting into the cage again. But what do you think of what Bobby Green said about him?
Bro, first of all, thank God for Bobby finally standing up for Anthony Smith. And that, bro, thank God.
No one
man.
have
Like,
to do it.
he's been getting all this shit, bro, for no fucking reason. Dude comes out there and always lays it out on the line. These last couple fights, I get it. Maybe there's been a bit of quit in him with the Dominic Reyes fight, Johnny Walker fight. But dude, he's just had so much going on. Let's not forget a dude broke into his fucking house in the middle of the night. His best friend, who his training partner got him in the sport, died a couple weeks before the fight. I mean, bro, let's give this man a break, dude. What they're giving him for his last fight's a little fucked up. But I think for TJ and them to talk shit about him like that, especially with Rampage, bro, it's just like, why? What's the beef that everyone has with Anthony Smith, bro? Dude comes out here and lays it out on the fucking line every time, has over 50 fights, didn't take the bitch way out like Aljo did with the knee against John Jones. Let's not forget about that. Dude could have won the title like that.
I was crossing him, bro. I was fuming, bro.
Bro, I was going for him so bad.
He definitely should have. He definitely should have.
Let's not forget what he did to Rashad Evans, what he did to Gokhan Saki.
Hey! Don't talk about the Rashad Evans fight, please.
I'm just saying though. But that's what I'm saying though. Like, he's an OG. He's fought everybody and he's knocked these dudes out. What TJ and them say is they're like a bunch of 15-year-olds, bro, that have a channel. Him, Luke Rockhold, Bears bitch ass. Rampage has been kind of being a cuck lately, kind of listening to whatever they're saying. So I don't got a lot of good things to say about the Jackson podcast. Maybe that's why I'm coming at it the way I am. But I think they need to add a little bit more respect to Anthony Smith's name, bro. And I don't know what the beef, what the comment was for. And shout out Bobby Green for actually checking someone and being like, hey, bro, stand up to this.
Yeah, man. Before we get Yao's take, man, what are you saying, Olin? What are you saying on all this?
Man, I'm with both the guys that just spoke before me. I'm more so with Cross here. I don't think anybody in this conversation was wrong. Like, we have seen Anthony Smith show some quit in him, so they're right for making those comments. You can call TJ a juice head because he has failed for EPO not once, not twice, I think 3 times, right? So he's a multiple time offender. So like, if it's a one time, I'm a big fan of the fucking word anomaly, right? But it's not an anomaly once you've failed twice or 3 times, and that's simply the case. So I agree. What's making the walk say here? 2 things can be true. Smith is courageous in getting in the cage, but the quit button is a little easier to hit now. He's not a quitter, but he makes business decisions real quick now. Look, if you want to go back to one of my favorite clips in the Ultimate Fighter history, Uriah Hall asks his coach, Chael Sonnen, about quitting. And Chael Sonnen gives one of the best responses I've ever heard in my entire life as a mixed martial arts fan and as a practitioner of mixed martial arts. He says, they will tell you quitting is not an option, but quitting is always an option. The fact of the matter is, it is always the most readily available option, but it is up to you to choose not to quit. And that's a fact. And as you get older in your career, the more damage you take, it's simply put, it's easier to hit that quit button. As Jack said, it gets so much easier to hit because you're thinking of different things. You're thinking of your kids. You're thinking of longevity of life. So yeah, I'm with all of the above here.
Yeah, man.
But
and with two,
I also am with none of the above in the fact that I don't think it's a conversation that needed to happen on the air in any way, shape, or form.
No.
I'll tell you who agrees with Dillashaw is Yao. It was just trashing Anthony Smith just now before. Yeah, you. I mean, before Sterling even came in and told you, I had to tell you. Yeah, you referenced the quitting in him and trashing him and that.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
You remember now? Yeah,
but I get the analogy you were making. The analogy you made sense though. I get it.
But I mean, is it time for him to anger up in your opinion?
No. Look, 59 bouts is how much he's had professional fights. That's what Bobby Green's referring to. We've got Jim Miller still trucking at 41, 42 now. He's been from UFC 100 all the way to UFC 300.
This is true.
I think Anthony does still have something to offer. Yes, it might seem like the quit button is quick and easy, but like Sterling said, maybe like Bobby Green said, maybe they've broken your nose in the same place for the 4th time. You obviously can't tell everyone, hit me here, because they'll hit you there, right? But they keep hitting you there, and it's like, oh, it's broken again. So, we don't really know, but I enjoy seeing.
But can I just before you continue, can I just even say to like his last few fights, they've been, when a fight's hard to watch because you're feeling so bad for the person taking the beating. That's what I'm talking about in terms of this is coming from a place of love This is not coming from a place of your shit. Like, that's how I'm looking at it, you know? Like, when the fight is so hard to watch. All right, I'll tell you another fight that was hard to watch for me like that. Ian Gary Magny. That fight, the build up to it, and then the fight, the way the fight panned out, it was hard to watch, bro. And I'm thinking to myself, like, Magny, man, do something. You know what I mean? Like, do something to gain some respect here, because this guy is disrespecting you over and over and over and over again. But the thing with Anthony Smith, for me, is his fights are just getting harder to watch, bro. It's just getting harder to watch. That's where I'm coming from.
It is, bro. Like the Khalil Roundtree fight. As soon as I heard that fight got announced, I was like, "What are we doing? Why are we fighting Khalil Roundtree, bro?" Like,
don't do it to yourself, man. That's you know, you start looking at it like that's self-harming as the fucking. You're just getting paid for it, but that's self-harming, bro. You know,
on short notice too, 2-week notice. Go ahead, y'all. My bad.
With regards to the one question that was asked on Jackson was, does he have the championship mindset? And unfortunately, he's not called Anthony Champion Hart Smith. He's Anthony Lionheart Smith. So, like you said, he didn't take the knee win. That's not a champion decision to make. It's someone who's there for the fight, and that's what we love him for. So, you know, it is one of those things, and that's why I think a lot of us want to see him fight and continue, because he's there for the fight and the integrity of the fight, like he showed against John Jones, not just for the championships. And like Bobby Green was supporting him.
Yeah. Okay. Jack says here, when it feels like they're walking into an execution rather than a fight, it's way past time. Thank you, man. That's all I'm saying.
Tony Ferguson. Every fight we saw him take, we were like, Michael Chandler.
Like, he's just hard to watch, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to see this guy getting beat up on like that, man. He's crazy.
The Michael Chandler may have been the one fight for Tony Ferguson. I was like, he has a shot here.
Bro, I don't know, bro. Michael just hits too fucking hard, dude. Michael, like, I get he gets a lot of shit too. Same thing with Michael Chandler. People like to shit on him, but getting there and fight that motherfucker. That dude swings bombs.
Tony did drop Chandler in the first round.
He really did. He looked like a sniper in round one.
He did.
That's true. All right, let's go into this last topic and get the hell out of here. Salute to every single one of you that's been here. Big up on yourself. Make sure you're showing love to everyone on the panel. All right, let's go into this last topic. And I will start with you on this one. Let's go.
Francis Ngannou has stated that he would still love to fight John Jones, but at this point he doesn't see it becoming a reality. Ngannou believes that during the UFC's efforts to re-sign him, they were using the potential John Jones fight as bait to lure him back. In a recent interview with Sportsbook Review, Francis said if you can get past Dana White, it could happen, but that's a massive obstacle. But personally, I don't care. I'm doing well. I'm doing my stuff at my pace. I don't care. That won't change my sleep for me. Finishing my career without fighting John Jones would be okay. I have tried to fight John Jones for 4 years since I fought Jairzinho Rozenstruik back in 2020. I've been trying to fight John Jones, and then they were holding it out like a trap until the moment I was about to leave, and then they said, okay, here's the John Jones fight. But it was bait. I felt they were very tricky. Yes, John Jones would be a great fight, a fantastic fight. I've always hoped for that fight, but my hope and my expectation for that fight has faded over time. I have a lot of fights to get measurement of his light heavyweight career, and I have way less to look at him as a heavyweight. I think he's by far the best light heavyweight. His cage time as a light heavyweight was over a decade. At heavyweight, he has 2 fights. He has barely done 3 rounds.
Francis looks like there's no light at the end of the tunnel for him when it comes to John Jones. But I believe there is. After this fight with Aspinall and the chances that with the people that's now looking after Francis's career in boxing, he's got the Saudis in his corner, and at the PFL, they will allow him to get out of the promotion and do whatever he wants to do. But do you think that fight is like out of reach? I know he said he's losing hope. He didn't say he's given up, but he said he's losing hope. For you, do you think there's hope in that fight? Do you think that fight can still happen?
Look, it's interesting because we've heard Dana White saying that they offered Francis the John Jones fight and he declined it. And that sort of explains why he declined it, because of timing. But I say, shout out Jorge Masvidal, Game Bred MMA. Let's put on the biggest boxing match. Once John Jones retires from MMA, you got Francis Ngannou, John Jones with the boxing gloves on. That's the only way I see these two fighting, because right now, from an MMA standpoint, like he said, you'd have to get past Dana White to get John Jones to fight him. And we don't see that happening because we know Dana White's opinion on Francis Ngannou. So it's unfortunate it's a fight that went past. I think a lot of us fans are now starting to look past the fact that it didn't happen and now looking towards more the John Jones, Aspinall, and the legacy to come. So, look, I think John Jones should retire and then go and make that money, that boxing money he's been looking for. Go make it with Francis. Go make it with Francis in boxing, non-MMA. Then they can possibly, get down.
Olin, as an MMA fan, from what Yao just mentioned there, would you want to see John Jones and Francis in a boxing fight? Wouldn't you want to see them in a full MMA? And do you think the Sheikh will support them fighting in an MMA bout outside of the UFC?
I think
crazy fucking card.
I do. I think Turk El Sheikh would definitely pay money to have them box, or maybe have them do a special rules kickboxing match of some sort. And I would be more here to watch them box or kickbox than to fight in mixed martial arts. At this point in their careers, it holds zero relevance for them in their MMA journey and their MMA legacy. Like they're both past that point. Jones will no longer be champion. He'll have to relinquish the belt if they're going to fight, because it doesn't happen inside of the UFC. That's just simple facts. So yeah, I think they have to box. And also it's a better testament of their skills, in my opinion, because Francis has been out of mixed martial arts for a while now, outside of that one very short, very dominant match he had recently. Unfortunately, I think if they do get inside of the octagon, it wouldn't be as exciting as any of us are hoping it'd be. John Jones would make it a suffocating affair. As much as I dislike the man, I think he would probably do dominant things to him inside of the cage.
Sterling?
Olin pretty much summed that up pretty solid, bro. And that comment too, I'm not too mad about. I'd rather see them box than MMA. I think there's a better chance we see that rather than MMA. Like if they are going to fight, it's probably going to end up being boxing. It's going to be weird. There's going to be a lot of controversy surrounding no matter who wins that fight, because it's just boxing with the hands rather than a real fight. We're in a real fight. You know what I'm saying, boys? But I just don't ever think we see it. And this would be one of the biggest fights, boys, we never got to watch.
Yeah, that bro. Are you gonna kill the light at the end of my tunnel cross? Like, bro, I'm holding hope to see these two get into an MMA, under MMA rules, man. But boy, the panel is rapidly going towards a boxing route.
Let's go, Trigger.
Are you gonna make a full house?
Big Trigger.
So, I mean, I definitely hear what Francis is saying. I'm gonna go at it from a different angle.
Okay.
I don't think Dana White can allow it to happen in the UFC, simply because if he does, he's going to set the precedent. The other fighters like, oh yeah, you can go to another promotion for a few fights, make your money, and then you can come back to the UFC. And that just isn't good for business for Dana White. So even if Dana White wanted to make the fight, on principle and just his business savvy, he can't make the fight. Unfortunately, like, all of us would love to see it. All of us would watch it. But, at the end of the day, Dana White is about making money and what makes business sense and what makes the most sense for the UFC. And he can't have all the fighters thinking they can go do something else and then come back and everything's all good. Like, people with power, they don't like relinquishing that power. They definitely want to keep it, and they have it over all the fighters.
Okay, you heard it there from Cross. And that fight is dead in the water for me. I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep. I'm Full Mount MMA. Salute to your Full Mount MMA people. If you don't know about him, you ain't been watching Don't Stop Shakedown. We use their clips all the time, and they do great work over there. So go check them out, like we always tell you guys to do, and make sure you're following everybody that fucks with this channel. Making the walk, S Dogs MMA. Crossover is rolling across the screen right there, man. Normally, head kick pot, the run
kick in the head.
Subscribe, even Leroy, man. Go and check him out on his Insta. Make sure you're checking out every single post that we make, and we'll be back for the prediction show on Friday, guys. And big up every one of you on the panel that's pulled up tonight for this great topic, man. We have some fun conversations, and I'll see you guys on Friday. We're out of here. Hasta la vista. We're out. Salute.
Peace.
Hey guys, this is John Anik from the UFC. You're watching the Fight Week Show. Please subscribe. Not now, but right now. Subscribe to the Fight Week Show. We'll see you guys on the road soon.